We got a parts order in, and we haven't done this for a while, so let's see what's in the box. Right at the top is the invoice. And just like almost every other one I get, it's $400. I don't know why everything I order is $400, but seems to be the way it works out. Okay, yeah, lots of paper like always. This is the key item in here. I can tell by the way it feels. All wrapped up, lots of paper. Yep. And there you have a brand new clutch disc. Looks pretty good. A lot better than the one we took out. This one I think is an AP disc. A lot different material than the other one. These little segments with spaces in between them. Help place for the debris to go. But that should be a lot better and give us a brand new disc in there so we won't have that problem again. Okay, so you know, one of the things about ordering parts, and I have to say that we got the Doofus Award this week, and I'll tell you why shortly. You know, if you're getting something shipped, get as many little things as you can because they come free. We got one big thing coming, so we got our gasket here for our rear cover plate. We went ahead and ordered some new bolts to hold the pressure plate to the flywheel. We got a fuel line union in there, and I don't know, there's another pack of nuts in there. We'll have to have a look at that. We also got, let's see, this is a kit to mount the fuel tank. New rubber pads and bands to mount the fuel tank. That wasn't cheap. Pretty heavy item there. And we got the fuel line. Ostensibly, I guess we got two pieces here. One, I think, goes from the fuel tank up to the front of the car, and then this runs from the front of the car up to the fuel pump, hopefully. So we'll be able to put those in. Get them in the frame. We'll have to uncoil it, get all the curves out of it, straighten it out, put our own bends in it. Let's see what's in this little bag. Got our gasket, like I say. Clutch plates and flywheel bolts. And what are these little bolts here? Oh, we got a set of drive shaft bolts. I think I had one set, and we went ahead and got another set. The other set I have has castle nuts and cotter pins. This just uses elastic stop nuts, so that's okay. We went ahead and ordered a new gasket for the fuel gas cap since it wasn't very expensive and freight was free. I wanted to see what it was like, so it's just a little thin piece of paper. We'll see if we're going to change the piece we put in there. And then this is a union for the fuel tank. And I have to say that I like ordering from these guys in particular. Maybe you can see the name on the package. Just because they are convenient and they have everything you need. And you know, when you find people you can depend on, you want to keep doing business with them. I think they've just redone their website to make ordering a little easier. So, you know, there's certainly other sources for things, but when you get people, like I say, when you get people to do a good job, you want to keep doing business with them. So that's what we're doing. We'll get a chance to put that pressure plate in, but now we'll show you why we got the Dumb Shit Award. We dug out the transmission. Figure we need to get it cleaned up and ready to go. We just happen to have about a dozen of these plastic wheelbarrow tubs that we bought special. Got a deal on it, you know. So they make a good big parts washing bin. And we started to clean all the crap off the gearbox, and it looks like some genius undercoated the whole doggone thing, so what a mess that made. But in the process, we kind of learned a couple of things. You have these mounts right here, these rear motor mounts, and apparently this rear cover where the motor mounts bolt is subject to breakage. Easy to see why. It's just got these ears out here that hold the transmission mount, and I suppose the thing twists around, you break a front mount, then it's going to try to twist these rear mounts. So it looks like somebody's put a plate on here. They do make a reinforcement plate set that goes on both sides. Somebody's already put a reinforcement plate on this side. But the other thing is that we didn't really look very close at these rear mounts, and this one's in two pieces. We kind of sandwiched it back together again, but you know, if we'd have been a little smarter and planned a little bit further ahead, we could have got these motor mounts in with that other shipment and saved a little freight. So that's a good reason to plan ahead. So the other thing that we're working on is this gear lever, and there's a whole adventure going on here, and it took a while to try to figure out what the adventure was. But obviously you have the knob goes on here with a jam nut, and you have this chrome cover plate, little dome thing there, and we have a spring and we have a rubber boot that go on there. But then we have this adventure. It goes down in there like that, and then this goes on, and then this goes on, and then this goes on. So after we figured out the process there, we realized that down in here there's a big circlip. So what you got to do is compress this spring, and that circlip goes around here and holds that in. Then you can put that boot on, then you can put that on, and can't even do it with all this stuff packed on here, but we'll take some of this off so we can see what's going on. So this spring ends up being like that, and after you get everything else on, there's a little groove right here, and that takes a little small circlip, and then that comes up over it to keep it from jumping out. So that's what holds all of that in. So we got all the parts and pieces except for this big circlip. So that's another part that we're going to have to order, and at least we need to order a couple of motor mounts so we can get the circlips in with the motor mounts and not having to pay, you know, $15 freight on a $2 circlip. So like I said, when you're working on this stuff, kind of plan ahead. Make yourself a list, a parts list of the next group of things you're going to order, and when you need to order a big part, order all the little parts with it so that they come sort of free freight. Save a little money. We still got to work on cleaning this transmission up a little bit, but I think it's going to be good. Get a couple of new mounts on it, new ground strap down there, and I think we'll be good to go. Well, we got our gasket for the back of the cylinder head, and so we'll go ahead and try to put that on. I don't know what the purpose of this little dog leg is there, but it's like the gasket is made to cover it up, hopefully. I mean, the alternative is that it goes over there like that. That doesn't make a lot of sense. We've got a little RTV. We'll just dab a little bit of that on. So after a lot of cursing and yelling and throwing things, you wouldn't think you'd have to do all that for a simple deal like this, but we finally got this to fit, Now we just have to see if it leaks. That'll be the next test. We've got a nice little spiffy aluminum plate on there instead of a metal plate with a hole in it. I put a new clutch disc in and replaced all the pressure plate bolts with the new ones all the way around. Ones that were in there before had two different size heads on them, and just didn't look too spiffy, so we went ahead and put new bolts in. Got our alignment tool there holding our clutch in place. We can just pull that right out. Hopefully our transmission will go in as easy as that does. And then, as we showed before, we finally got our plate on the back of our head, and we'll fill it up with water and see if we have any leaks. But we got this put back together on the back of the engine. A couple more little things here to do on the engine before we hang the transmission on it and stick it in the car.